All right. So we have episode 59, Tequila and Transactions, and this one's a good one. Double trouble here. We got James, we have Chris, and, just an honor and pleasure to have you, gentlemen. It's been a long time coming. We have some really nice stuff on the table here. We'll jump in here in a second. I know we've already partaked in some taste testing already, so we're locked and loaded. We're ready to go. So just appreciate you guys for joining us today on the show. We'd love to pick your guys' brains a little bit. You guys are really high respected in the industry. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are some of the guys that when I see out there in the streets, I'm like, oh, those are good guys. I know that you guys are advocating for your clients and you guys do a lot of good stuff, and I see you guys a lot. So for me, it's just mutually respect, just mutual respect between us. And, every time you guys come and support us at our organization like Nora, it's, for me, it shows volumes of who you gentlemen are, and just want to say I appreciate you guys. So that's why you guys are here. I only invite people I like on the show, so hence that's why you. No pun intended, right? But no, I'm really, really grateful to have you guys, and just want to give you guys some time to introduce yourselves, let the people know who you are, what you do, and then I'll get started with pouring some tequila if that's cool with you guys. All right, let me borrow those glasses from you, gents, and I'll get started with a little something. Okay. Right. James still needs to finish off that first one.
Bit, huh? Thank you. This is the good stuff.
This is both the good stuff, but this is a little different than when we first tried. So once James is ready, I'll pour him a little some, and then we'll join him. Okay. I don't want to drink without him, but this is also one of my favorites too. So they're all pretty much my favorites.
Yeah. There you go. Good hustle, dude. There you go.
Made it happen.
Well, we appreciate you having us on. It's I've been a fan since episode 1. And,
okay.
And during COVID and all that. So, but yeah, so I've been thirsty.
Thank you.
I've been thirsty for a bunch of years, dude.
It's been like over 5 years.
It's been on his vision board.
Absolutely,
love it,
dude. It's happening.
Love it. It's happening, bro.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Today, dude.
Coming to fruition now. It's happening.
Yeah, appreciate you. Right back at you, man. A lot of respect for you in this in the industry, dude. And you're somebody that's absolutely well respected as well too. And we just we follow your career as well too. And so yeah, man, we're just brothers out there in the mean streets of Walnut Creek, man.
Exactly.
I do want to know more about Boulevard, because I know you, I've seen you, and I've seen your guys' brand grow, but I've never really heard the full origin story of Boulevard and kind of how that went down. So I'd love to learn more about that.
I'm happy to share it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share it. As we get into tequila, I'm gonna get real honest with y'all too. So we're gonna dive deep today.
Let's do it.
But just let the folks know what you guys do. A lot of people that watch, either they're tequila fans or they're real estate fans, so they may not know who you guys are and what your company is. And so, give you guys the mic. You guys, talk about whatever you guys want to share, and then I'll throw out some questions here and there, and then we'll pivot to tequila too.
Right. You sharing first, or am I?
Go for it.
Well, I'm Chris Strange. I'm James and I, we own Rise Group Real Estate. I'm a father of four beautiful 3 adult kids. One kid almost going to be an adult.
Nice.
Married my wife for 23 years.
Wow.
It was me trying to remember. It wasn't me. That face. I didn't mean that face.
You wanted to get it right.
I wanted to get it right. I should probably watch this. But yeah, 23 beautiful years.
Love that. Love it.
We have 3 dogs. And but yeah,
100 plants.
And 100 plants. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, we're a plant family. So, but yeah, and so my story is I started having kids young, and grew up with my wife. At 18, 19 years old, and I was in retail management for a billion years, and then I was like, all right, I'll do something different.
Mm-hmm.
That glass ceiling, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Say? Yeah. And then and so I wanted to do something different. So I bought a house by my realtor Matt Brady, and he was a Coldwell banker, not in the business anymore, but he was helping us, show us our houses. We went to 1,000 homes, wrote 100 offers, and this was during 2012, and so finally we got into our house. But I was like, man, Matt's cool, I'm tired of what I'm doing, and so Matt Brady's cool, I'm cool. I could be a realtor.
Match me in heaven.
And that's it. 14 years later, dude, I'm drinking tequila with this good guy right here, Ricky. So yeah, that's me. So,
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm James Quintero. Again, co-managing partner of Rise Group Real Estate. I've been in the business since 2015. I was a solo agent with Windermere for from then, the start of my career till about 2021 when I met this guy. We started the Rise Group, and we've just been, figuring it out since then.
You can say that. Kind of.
Yeah, my background is in, I went to school, San Jose State, for engineering. Figured out towards the end of my college career that I didn't want to do engineering. And so I kind of dabbled in a couple other things. Multi-level marketing was kind of like the thing that gave me like the entrepreneurial bug. And then did a short stint in nightlife. And then I was also doing real estate at the same time. And I grasped onto real estate because I felt confident in the industry. I felt like I can actually, when it came to engineering, by the time I was ready to like go out into the workforce, I just felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. And when it came to real estate, I felt like I can really make a difference. Like I can actually, play the game, and I can actually be effective. So I liked it, and I continued doing that. So local from the Richmond Pinole area. Grew up in that area, and still in the local area here now. And so we're just growing the Rise Group. What, 5 years now?
Love that.
Under
Nice.
belt, and still learning, still growing, and just trying to be a brand that's worth respecting here in the Contra Costa Alameda County.
I think you guys have done that. You know what I mean? From just looking from afar, I think you guys definitely have that respect. I mean, you guys have my respect. I can't talk for every realtor in the game. You know what I mean? But at least
haters too, right?
I mean, you ain't doing it right. You ain't doing it right unless you have haters. So how did you guys meet? Was like episode out of Step Brothers? You guys, we're best friends now. That's cool.
Totally, dude.
Yeah,
That's cool. You guys do a deal together first, or how did it all work out? Oh no, okay.
You want to tell a story?
Interesting.
Tell it. You want to tell it?
Yeah, I'll tell it. I don't know if I'll tell as good as you do. But so I used to be a team owner of the East Bay Group at Compass, and during COVID, it's kind of like me and my business partner have been together for a number of years, and during COVID, everybody kind of got a little nervous. Remember at the beginning of COVID?
Yep. It was weird.
Everything shut down. We just, am I driving Uber next week? Like, what am I doing? And so, me and my business partner decided, like, all right, this is kind of the timing of it. So our team kind of like started jumping out of the business at that time. So our team got really skinny, and so we're like, all right, we did our run and everything, and so he wound up going to where our current brokerage, Radius Agent. Radius Agent is like a side, right?
Yeah, very similar. Very
just,
similar.
we were just a brand of teams,
Right.
And so at that point, though, they were a brokerage of single agents. I was thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna do the big team thing again.
Right.
And so and so I'm just gonna, probably get a couple agents with me, just so I'm not lonely. Someone to talk to in the office.
Right.
And so I need friends.
Exactly.
And so my old business partner went to go work for Radius and helping them recruit. He's like, well, why don't you meet, James and these other guys, and they're about to start doing a real.
He must have really hyped us up.
I was like, we were in Pittsburgh, so it was, so he's like, yeah, why don't you just meet with them? I know you think you're doing your thing, they're going to do a thing, and so the next day I went into the conference room there on California Avenue in Pittsburgh, and met with these guys. Met with him, Chris Lopez, and Ty Pham at the time, and so they met James through a couple transactions they did with them, right? And so and they were saying, hey, because they were starting a lending business, and so they asked James to come on, help, want to combine to a real estate team, and so. James was yearning to become a team leader, and I already had done it, so kind of good little comfort level, because I know I didn't want to do it again by myself, because it's just hard.
It is, man.
Like, it's just, you had to wear so many hats at
Yep.
every point of the day. So we were like, hey, want to be dumb together? Should we do this? So,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love that.
So 6 years later, 5.5 years
Cool,
later.
man.
So we're doing the things.
That's cool. Yeah, I have a similar story too. Like my James is my buddy Hector. He's a fraternity brother of mine. Kind of same thing. He's like, hey man, I like what you're doing, and I hate what I'm doing. So can I join you? I was like, come along for the ride, bro. I'm down to teach you what I can teach you, and you know, it's like you guys said. I mean, it's not easy doing it alone. It's super difficult to be able to lead by yourself. And like you said, I mean, you're wearing so many hats, and you're still trying to produce.
Still trying to produce.
And it's like you're in the trenches trying to produce, and you're also trying to, you know, cheerlead and trying to handhold and, you know, teach and this and that. And it's like it's a lot, you know, for one person, it's a lot. So I resonate with that a lot because, you know, I wish I could clone Hector and have 30 Hectors, and I'd be a lot better than where I'm at. But at the same time, you know, the beauty of it is I have somebody just like you. You guys have someone you can lean on. I mean, obviously, it's easier when you got two heads or better than one. So I feel that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So, but yeah, I mean, love the story.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 years later, obviously, you guys like each other.
Yeah, it's funny.
Or else we would have been gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard in this industry. I mean, you see people team up, like that doesn't always last long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Money sometimes gets in the way, and egos get in the way. But I think, you know, after knowing you guys for many years, I know you guys are very much good people. I mean, every time I hang out with you guys have nothing but cool stuff to say, and you guys are always vibing with me and vibing with other people, and you guys are always all smiles. And so it's like, and I know when I come to talk to you guys, it's going to be a fun time. Like, I know that you guys aren't going to be negative or like just bigger than who you are kind of thing, where you're like, yeah, whatever, bro, get out of here. Like, I'm Chris Strange, or I'm James Quintero. We're Rice Group, bro. Back up, son.
Who are you?
Yeah. Dude, man, I've met you like 4 times, bro.
What's your name again?
Yeah, oh, that's the worst. That's like dude, we just met, bro. Like, what do you mean?
We're related.
Thought we were fam, bro. Thought we were fam. No, but this industry it'll take a toll on you, man. It's not easy. It's not easy to do it alone. I mean, people get burnt out doing all this stuff alone, and it's good to when you have somebody else that you can at least have those conversations with, and just have, you know, the ability to kind of lean on each other. So I see it, I respect it. It's hard, man.
I was just like my first year in real estate, right? So like my business partner I had before, I didn't know him before either. Like, and so like he went to elementary school with my wife, and he saw my wife post that my husband's a realtor, buy a house with him, you know, on Facebook.
Yep.
And so he hit her up and said, hey, he should come to this event tomorrow. And so when I met him, I was like, I already interviewed with Century 21, Better Homes, Zip Realty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Colwell, I think. I don't know, I've interviewed like a bunch, but I just never felt like, oh man, like this isn't the one.
Right.
And so then when I met him, I was like, will you answer my questions, dude? Like, if I got it, he's like, yeah, just go sit over there. Just be quiet. Just go sit over there, dude. And just like, yeah, but I'll answer your questions. I'm like, okay. So I just felt like I just needed somebody to like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, just nudge me the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got good work ethic. I'll figure it out, but just help me. And so that's always kind of been like the DNA. And that's kind of how like James and I like just generally just show up, right? We just show up and just kind of, who do we need to serve today? And just let the day just kind of go. We know we have some tasks that we need to do for the day, and just to kind of continue to move the needle, but just let the day, just serve the day, serve the people that are in front of you. And that's just kind of just been our mentality. It's just that. It's just, you know, just whatever gets put in front of us, that's what's meant to be in front of us. And then the team, I just love where teams are going right now too.
Yeah.
I think team is just the way the industry's going.
Yeah.
So like you're a solo agent, like why? You know, it's like, you know, like why would you be like, just, you know, be a part of something, right? And so I think it's good just because like we're a very collaborative group, as many teams are, right? I love to see all the different teams like Boulevard, right? Like everybody has their own personality, right? Like and so it's a good adaptation. So it's a lot easier to find a home versus just finding a big brand like a Compass or a KW. Like you go there for certain reasons, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You might not vibe with the people that are
Right.
in there, right? And so finding, you know, it's dangerous to call something like a family, you know, but I think it's a team, you know, where you can just like lean on people and be able to get your questions answered, you know, like that's important in this industry. Is like, because if you're stumbling, like it's so hard to get that opportunity. Right, and then once you get that opportunity, like, oh, now I got to write this offer, but I don't know how to write that offer. Or like, what should I do in this situation? It's competitive. Like having somebody to call, like just to be able to like walk you through that.
Right.
And that's just really like that's what our team is just really about, dude. It's just that, like helping them with the opportunity, and then helping them secure that opportunity.
Of course.
Like just taking advantage of them so they can provide for their family. Right.
Oh, 100%. I think camaraderie is super important, and I'm biased because I started on a team, and I've been on a team since the beginning, and then created my own team. So it's like it's been a journey, but at the same time, like I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that support, because I I would have been as successful if I had to go to my manager every time or get the help from like somebody at the office that wasn't part of my team, because I always felt like I had that support. And even like when negotiations would go down, and then like I came into the industry when things were taking off, like I didn't even know what above 2015, I didn't even know what above asking was. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I rewrote it for the asking price. That's what they're asking. What do you mean that offers are coming in above asking price? What does this mean? And then obviously I learned super fast, you know, supplying. I mean, obviously then I started to apply my degree, because I went and studied business administration and minored in finance and all this stuff. So for me, it's like, okay, supply and demand, I get it. And then it's like just understanding where interest rates were and demand where demand was, and inventory where inventory was at the time and still is, you know. So being able to understand that, and I think for me it was important having people on my team that were way more seasoned than I was. But also for me, it was like I struggled with having confidence in myself. Like I had imposter syndrome to the point where like, yes, I'm college educated, have my degree. Yes, I know real estate. My family, we're big multifamily people. We've been in commercial since I was a kid. So like, you know, I grew up sweeping my parents' apartment buildings, stairs, you know what I mean? And they're cleaning up their laundry rooms at their apartment building. So for me, it's like I've been in that world, but to be able to get on a phone and negotiate with somebody who's been in the industry a lot longer than I have, and then looking at my DRE number and being like, oh, you little schmuck, get out of here, right? But I think having the confidence, like even to role play, or like, hey, how are you gonna go about this conversation? And then telling them, no. You know, you listen first, and then let them speak. If they speak, they lost. You know what I mean? Don't get emotional. It's always about the facts. Always state the facts, and always talk about what your clients are concerned about, and how you're gonna, you know, how you want to, you know, resolve the situation. And just having those kind of conversations, and even having them in the room, was so much easier, because they're like, hey, we're gonna stay here with you on the phone. Put on speakerphone, call them, and they would tell me, all right, put it on mute. They're like, let them talk, and then they're like, okay, now unmute it and tell them again why your clients are concerned. And then obviously they're getting emotional, saying that their client's not gonna do it, and then they're like, just coaching me, and they're like, dude, it's not their house, it's their client's house. Let them figure it out. And it was like, for me, that was an epiphany. Like, is this how this works? Like, and just understanding that like it's always a negotiation, and that negotiations can be favorable and they cannot be favorable. But at the end of the day, like we're two parties trying to get this transaction done, and it's a bridge. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to meet in the middle and get this deal closed. So just learning things like that I wouldn't have had by just being at a regular office. And just, you know, for me, it was just having that sort of support was like instrumental to my career, because now I'm able to, you know, lean on people who've done this for multiple years and now have all the experience. And so that was really kind of helped me, give me that confidence, because although I was, you know, I was still a baby, dude. I was like right out of college, I was like 23 years old, 24 years old. And then, you know, people calling me to help them buy or sell a house, and I'm like, sure, I know what I'm doing. But then I get off the phone and be like, Josh, Michael, what do I do? Like, so it's like,
actually wants to buy a house.
So that was the scary part. It's like, okay, cool. Now I have the business. What do I do with it, right? But I think, you know, teams are very much, I think, where this industry is going. And I think the fact that like you can have a team that are neighborhood experts, and just people who are like, I always think of it like we're like a boutique brokerage at the end of the day. Like we're hyper focused on what we do. We're experts at our areas. I see you guys always posting stuff about your areas and being super knowledgeable about where you guys are selling. And that for me stands out, because if I'm looking in those areas, I'm like, James grew up there in the Richmond area. He knows that area like nothing. Like I'm going to go with James, right? And I think you guys really do a good job with that storytelling. And I think that's super important, because you know, real estate's not going to be what everybody thinks it is. I feel like where people can just jump on their laptop and just write an offer on a place using AI or whatever. It's, I think, so much more important for people are needing to know the schools, needing to know what's in that area, like what neighborhoods are the good neighborhoods and which ones like they should steer away from. So I think having that knowledge is super important. And then I only think you get that with like teams that are really hyper focused in those areas. So when you go to a big company, I think a lot of the agents kind of get lost in that big environment, and they don't feel like they just feel like they're a number, you know what I mean? Like they don't have a voice. So I think it's important, because not everyone resonates with those companies, and I think they need to, in my opinion, I think for agents, like go with somebody where you fit in. Real estate's super different now. Not everybody is, you know, a white lady with pearls, you know, walking around with pearls. Like everyone's different. People have
tries to be.
The pearls, dude.
rocking pearls on the weekends at your open houses.
All day.
Depends on what neighborhood I'm in. You gotta know your neighborhoods.
Exactly, right? You know exactly where to be rocking the pearls at. If not, you don't want to rock those pearls. They're gonna be stolen off your neck.
What's so funny? Because I love your epiphany moment. Because I think that's cool. Because when you said that, I'm just like, what was my epiphany moment? I know I had a lot of them, right? Like I just remember. Do you remember your epiphany moment?
I had a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep coming.
Yeah, they still.
Like, oh man, why didn't I do it that way? Like,
I was showing a home, and I was having trouble. Like, I just wasn't like I was like so nervous. This is like my first client, right? And it was actually a lead given over to me by Kenny Fast. Shout out Kenny. And so it was like a Spanish speaking lead, and we were. And so we were showing in Bay Point. We started in Hayward, we went to Bay Point. There's all these, but it was in Concord, but it was in some neighborhoods I just never been in before, right? And so, because I grew up in the city, right? And so, like, I moved to the East Bay, but I never traveled, maneuvered to the East Bay, right? And so, and I was just struggling with the communication with the husband, right? And I was just like, man, this guy hates me, right? And I'm just in my head, I'm just all in my head, dude,
yeah.
You know? Like your imposter syndrome, right? Like, I don't even know how to communicate with this guy. And so, but then I remember I tripped and I almost fell into him. And then he like scooted out of the way. Right? I'm like, okay. And I was like, but then I remember I said, like, dude, you didn't try to catch me, dude. And then we all just kind of started having to laugh, right? And so, and then we connected, right? But it was like my epiphany moment, like myself came out of me because I'm clumsy, I tripped, and then, and I made a joke, and that's just kind of who I am, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I should just be myself. And that was kind of like my epiphany moment. But it's and those things can help you just gain momentum. But you gain those things by getting opportunities, from your teams and from people in the industry that, so as you start kind of growing with it. So,
Yeah, I had a mentor as well. His name was Joseph Pineda, and he was super instrumental in my growth. Like I wouldn't be obviously where I'm at today unless he helped me, because we were in a brokerage and there was help in the brokerage, but he really like took the time to really, give and just really help me out. And so, I had that person that was really there for me to be able to like say, hey, this is how you do this. Like taught me the nuances of the business. Like, the little sayings that we say, like we all have one-liners and stuff like that. So he kind of like had all of that like ready for me and just was teaching it, just gaming me up. He just gamed me up. And so, I remember, I don't know if it's an epiphany moment, but I remember the first deal that I closed. I remember I cashed my check in cash.
What?
Yeah, like in cash. And I remember I just had like this fat wad of cash. And, I'm young. I'm like 25 years old. Oh no, maybe I was maybe 26, but I was young. That for me, I was young, and so I had this fat wad of cash, and I just felt like, dang, like it kind of turned something on in my brain because I was in the entrepreneurial world already, and I had been working my ass off in like multi-level marketing and nightlife, and nothing. Like I was trying and failing. Like I made one event. I was successful and I made money, and then on the multi-level marketing thing, I was recruiting all types of people and presenting and learning and growing, but I wasn't making any money. So when I made my first real estate check, and it was probably like 10,000 or something like that. I had cash. I was like, something turned on in my brain. I was like, oh, like this is an industry that actually can change your life.
Oh yeah.
And so that kind of turned something on in my brain where I was like, I felt confident finally because I felt imposter syndrome in engineering. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't know what I'm doing. I knew how to pass classes, but I didn't even know like what type of job. I studied industrial engineering, and then I went and looked at jobs. There's no job that says industrial engineer. You know what I mean? Like what do I do?
Yeah.
So I felt like more of an imposter there, and so when I went into real estate, I felt like, oh, I can actually make waves here. And so that was kind of like my epiphany moment. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I went to go cash my first real estate check. I've always been blessed. Like I've been down to the last penny 1,000 times, but then my deal closes right when I need it, right? I've always been blessed. But
God is good, man. That's what happens.
America Bank. They used to always put a hold on my check for like 10 days, dude.
Damn.
Or was it? I mean, I was cashing real estate checks, right? Cashing 10, 15, $20,000 checks.
Piss me off so bad.
I'm like, dude, I need it, dude. Like, you have $100 here. I'm like, what about groceries, man?
Yeah.
So,
for the first while, my broker was actually paying me with the check. Like actually had to go to my broker and I had to have my files. I don't know. I think some places still do it. Like all my files had to be perfect and they would.
And then compliance compliance had to check it off before they even that's how it was.
Then I had to wait for that, and then I had to take my check and bring it to Wells Fargo, and they had to go do it. And it would, from the time I closed my deal to like the time I got paid, it was like probably a week or I was like hurting, but that was funny.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. I know what you guys are talking about now. The direct deposit's the greatest.
Yeah, dude.
Just
wire that money over.
Send it.
Fees, you know?
Just send it.
I don't want to stand in that line again.
Nah. That was an interesting time where like you're like I resonate with that a lot because I remember like I was at a big brokerage in the East Bay at the time. I was with Jay Rockcliffe, and Jay Rockcliffe had their hands in everything at the time. So it was like all like everything from like Walnut Creek to Danville, Black Hawk, Alamo. So it's like, and that's why I also had imposter syndrome too, because I was the only brown kid in that whole building, and I'm like looking around, and there's a lot of heavy hitters there, and I'm like, oh man, like, should I even be here? But then for me, it's just like, hell yeah, I belong here. My first few weeks, I was interning at the time, so it's like my first few weeks, I was just like right out of college, pulling up with a truck on 22s with beat, and then I'm like looking around, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to change real fast. Like I'm gonna have to sell this truck and get something nice, and try to fit in and make myself look like I belong here. So it's like I started wearing suits to the office, and obviously I don't wear suits now, but that was a thing like then. Like I'm trying to fit in. Like I wear a suit every now and then. I love a nice suit, but I don't feel like I need to wear a suit every day to sell real estate, right? For me personally. And then I was always afraid of like wearing my earrings or whatever. And I was just like, oh, what are people going to think about me and this and that? And then I was like, you know what? As the years went on, that confidence just like let me be me. And like you said too,
what really changed the game is technology, because the older agents that were in the industry, what I realized is when I was the young buck at Windermere too, there was a lot of older. I was down the street at Windermere, so in Walnut Creek, and so there was a lot of older agents that were doing a lot of business, but they didn't understand technology like
social media, nothing.
They didn't understand social media, and so quickly they were all trying to come to me, and like because I was in nightlife, so. In nightlife, I learned, okay, in order to promote this event, I have to get video of it. I need to put it on Facebook. I need to run ads against it so that people can see and buy tickets. And so I brought that into the real estate industry, and I was like, okay, let me start making some videos, because videos is what's going to draw people in. And so I remember being on a panel early on in my career, and you have these hitters that are doing, major volume, and I'm just brand new to the business. Not brand new, I'm newer though. And that's kind of what changed the game. It's like, here's this young kid. Yeah, I might not fit in. I might be, looking a little different than everybody else, but I know how to use technology. I know how to use social media. So now they want stuff from me. And so now it's like a fair exchange of information for information.
Yeah. Those are good times.
Yeah.
That's all I leveraged myself, because I was like broke college student. I didn't have, literally it got bad for me in like the first 6 months, where like all my money's gone, spent everything on licensing and cards and signs and this and that. Like it was cool. Like my team lead that I still work with today at Boulevard, like he hooked me up and helped me get some stuff too. But I was just spending all this money on marketing and doing this and that, and like money ran out fast. I remember like had to go ask mom and dad for money. I was looking for jobs to go work at a bank, or like, because I had a minor in finance. So like at the very least, I'm gonna go work for like Merrill Lynch or something or whatever, right? I was already applying, and then finally the phone rings. I'm like, oh, thank God, finally, like I can start doing what I want to do. And it wasn't until that first phone call came in, and I was just like, and then it was my cousin like, yo, you ready? I was like, I'm ready, bro. I'm born ready. He goes, all right, we're gonna start looking for a house. Boom, and I was like, all right, let's make this happen. So, and then
what was the first house that you sold?
It was funny. First house I ever listed was like, that was my first deal, because obviously buyers take a little bit.
It was a listing.
My first closing was a listing. It was actually my manager at a jewelry store I was working at the time. He was looking to sell, and they were looking to buy a bigger house. So he's like, you know what, we're gonna sell now, because the market was taking off in 2015, right? That's when the interest rates are still like maybe 3.5%. Everything's selling above asking. He's like, yo, I want to get rid of this. I'm gonna rent for a little bit, and then we're gonna buy a bigger house. And so I was like, cool. I was like, I'm happy to do it. Oh, dude, that was probably like one of the craziest times in my life. I lost my grandmother during that time. Literally, like right before I had to go do the open house, all kinds of stuff. And like, bless his heart, like, you know, that he was super understanding, and like anybody could have given me a hard time, you know what I mean, or said, no, you got to be here or whatever. So yeah, I had to cancel the open house because I couldn't find anybody last minute. So like literally, like my whole life just changed within that moment. But I remember, like, you know, my grandma was so proud of me, and I was like, I can't let this go. And I can't let, you know, I need to make her proud. Like, she was proud of me of what I was doing, and she knew I was trying to help people. And I remember I never grew up with grandfathers. Like, all my grandfathers passed before I was born. So for me, it's like my grandmothers were everything. I remember my dad's mom, you know, we had her for many years after that, after my mom's mom passed. But I remember her telling me, like, you know, what's going to make a, you know, you already made us really proud. And she was telling me, like, your grandma would want you to, you know, to continue on this journey that you're on. And like, she kind of just reassured it to me. And I already kind of felt it, but I was just like, all right, now this is, you know, I gotta just put my pants, big boy pants on. And despite grandma not being here, you know what I mean, I got to go out and sell this house. And then working out, you know, I ended up working with she's still in the game today. I think April Largent is her name. She's still in the game. It was my first ever. She was super. Cool. Yes. Yeah, she's still, yeah, they still got the same team and everything. They do a lot of business out in like Martinez and everywhere, yeah. So she was super cool, you know what I mean? She could have been way harder on me. It was my first deal ever, so she was super cool. She was the buyer's agent, so shout out to you, April. She was hella cool about everything. Way over asking. Really? Yeah, we priced it right. It was a townhome, and it was like in the weirdest areas, like in between Bay Point and Pittsburgh. Like when you're off where the railroads are at, like there's all those HOAs right there. It was those were one of my first ones. It was like a townhome in that HOA community right there. And I remember just learning about everything, learning about HOAs, learning about everything, and it was like, okay, and did the whole shebang, the list, the sign with the website on it, and this and that. I baked cookies at the open house. Wow, dude. Did everything, bro. Did everything, man. And it all worked out for the best. You know what I mean? It all worked out for the best. But that was a really cool experience, but also an experience that really grounded me and really like reassured me of my journey. And like, obviously, I had to take a little break for a little bit, but it ended up all working out. Yeah. It all ended up working out, and from then on, like, thank God the phone hasn't stopped ringing. So like, I still have people to this day. Like, I have some amazing clients that still send me business, still look out for me. And I feel like a lot of those people, like, I can assume that you both have those people in your lives too, where like those are your clients for life. They're like, they become family, and you know, when you guys meet up, it's like time hasn't passed. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm really grateful, and you know, for me, it's like I thank God every day that I have those people in my life, because if I didn't, you know, that's my bread and butter right there. That's my wheel that keeps turning, my reciprocal referrals. So like those things I'm really regularly grateful for. But yeah, it was an interesting time. The first deal, and then, you know, just learning after that, and it's haven't stopped learning. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's
weird how you there's always a situation that
every time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think after 10 years in the business, you would see every scenario, and there's always a new one.
Yeah, always.
Always.
It's crazy because when you have a team, that happens a lot too. They'll come to you and say, "Hey, have you dealt with this before?" I'm like, "No."
It's a new one for us. No. Yeah. Every deal's super different, and it's like crazy. I mean, even like recently to this year, I've never had anything happen to me during a final walkthrough, and this year's to kick off the year, during a final walkthrough, I fell through some stairs. Oh no! On a final walkthrough on my client's multi-unit building they were buying in San Jose, and I'm like, let me go make sure that the backyard is clear and that they got all the stuff out of the sub area, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go. My client's doing what he's doing through the house. Walk out onto the steps and just goes right through. Like, and a good thing it was only 3 feet off the ground. I'm 6 foot dude, you know what I mean? So I didn't go too far, but still, it was just a nightmare. Yeah. And dude, it became a huge nightmare after that, because they did not repair it to the same like, kind, and quality. So nightmare. I won't talk too much about it because there's ongoing litigation still. Still pending. But still, it was bad, and it's never a dull day in real estate. Everything's super interesting, man. Crazy.
Something that like really resonated kind of with what you said was like, you know, like for like any like younger agent or somebody who's like thinking about getting into it, or somebody who's like kind of questioning if they should still be in this business. I think it just goes to show like if you've been watching this podcast, like, you know, Ricky's a good dude, right? So like if you conduct yourself in the right manner and you always want to show up and do the best job that you can, you're going to progressively get better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like you have to have that mentality in the business, and then you'll gain that confidence as you go, right? So, but you need to be able to show up that way consistently. So
you have to.
And good people stay in the business a long time. You'll see, like, if you're just doing it for the money, if you're just doing it for, it's just, you're just not going to come across in the right way. So like, you know, take a step back. So anybody who's, you know, questioning that, they should just really just like take a look at just how are you showing up at the business every day, because that's important, you know.
100%.
It's for you to be able to generally have your phone ring, because it's our goal as realtors is to have our phone ring, have that inbound, you know. And so people are like, okay, he comes in like, you got another listing? Yeah, like my phone just rang. It's like funny because he's like,
this dude, it's like, I don't get it, but
he's like, people like you.
I'm like the follow boss Nazi. Like, I'm like, make your calls,
Making
make your
calls a day.
appointments. I'm making a bunch of calls and stuff, and then this dude just makes one call. He's like, got a listing appointment. I'm like, that's crazy.
But it's taken years to get there, right? And I guess that's the point. It's taken years to get there.
Yeah.
For us to be able to get that residual, so like, but you got to put that work in the beginning. Because I was gonna like ask a follow-up question, like how did you do your marketing? Because like for me, like him and I, like we kind of complimented each other, like when we started the team, because he was very big on social.
Yeah. So
he was like generating like 80-90% of his business, you know, from social, and I was making 80-90% of my business through like online leads. And so I wasn't that neighborhood expert, because I was buying leads in Hayward, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Concord, Disco. Like I was just all over the East Bay. I was just kind of going like where, like, you know, where the cost per lead was good. And so now, like, to this day, like I can go to any pocket in any city in the East Bay, and like I know it's like I know where the street is at, I know what neighborhood it's at, I know the feel of it, I know how much over asking it can go, or you know, and so how they price. So I did like 5-7 years of just all over the East Bay. But but what did you do like in terms of like starting marketing?
Very similar to you, bro. Like it honestly for me, I just started to like spider web out and just try to like get in front of, like, because I'm a part of a huge Latino fraternity. So for me, it's like I went after my fraternity brothers, Gamma Zeta Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So we're a big Latino fraternity. We started off in Chico, and we kind of like started
Chico
going.
State?
Chico. Well, I didn't go to Chico State.
Okay.
I went to Cal State East Bay, but that's where the fraternity was founded, in Chico. Gotcha. But
honeymoon in Chico, FYI.
Oh yeah,
that's knowledge. People don't know. Don't sleep on Chico.
Chico's nice, dude. People
I did have a honeymoon in Chico.
Chico's pretty cool.
Training out there at the time when I got married.
Hey, Chico's a party school, but it's still a very nice school. It's super cool.
Honeymoon in Chico in the summer when nothing's going on,
dude, hella hot, mosquitoes everywhere.
And then like nobody hanging out in the streets, nothing. But anyways, I'm sorry. So you say about your fraternity.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Chris's honeymoon was in Chico.
I remember that.
I like Chico, but Chico's like, I think, one of those areas that's it's still growing. Like it's still relatively flat. You can still build out there,
trying
right?
to get out of the bay. You know, like I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Actually, my clients, they moved to that area.
Oh, really? They didn't go all the way to Oregon? They wound up in...
Ran up in Chico. Yeah, you can say the price points are still relatively good up there.
Chico, Redding, up that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool places up there. Yeah. Paradise was one of the first places that had those huge wildfires, but Paradise is super nice up there. It's all getting rebuilt up now, but social for me was like the way to get in people I didn't know, and like the way to like utilize marketing at a very low cost. And so I started playing with a lot of stuff, and I just started every day like trying to do different things. And for me, it was more so just showing my passion for real estate, like showing what I loved about homes, showing what I loved about helping people and just giving people value. And for me, I'm a big Gary Vee fan, so like I was just like value, like show as much value as I can, and don't ask people for business. You know what I mean? I never called anybody and said, hey, who do you know that's buying or selling real estate? I always came from a place of value, always trying to help people. More so just try to let them know, hey, I'm doing this now, just want to let you know, want to check in on you. And I went crazy. Like my first year, like I was just like every day at the office, I was just trying to figure out a way to get in front of people. And so it was like 6 months of me just going hardcore on marketing till that first phone call came in.
What made you choose, like what what was it? The thing that like what made you choose real estate? Because like to show up every day and go hard like that, like there has to be a belief system behind that.
I think for me it was seeing what my family has achieved in real estate. Like my dad has at best a middle school education, and he owns many doors. Like he's part of he owns a lot of apartment buildings and a lot of residential properties. Thanks to me, obviously. Yeah. I got him a couple of deals over the years. He's my best and worst client I've ever had. Shout out, Dad. Shout out to you, Dad. But no, my dad gives me a hard time, but I think that's really what helped develop my craft. Like if I could go do a deal with my dad.
You saw real estate work, basically.
I mean, as a kid, bro, like literally like after school, my dad was taking me to the apartment buildings to help him change toilets, to fix sinks. Like he's like, oh, here, go sweep the carports, go do this, go do that. And I grew up thinking my dad was a maintenance dude. You know what I mean? He would get up early and go to work. I knew he worked in the garbage, like he was a garbage man all his life in the city. But when he came home from work, he was always taking us to go to these jobs. And I'm like, oh, maybe my dad this is what he does on the side, right? And then little by little, just like hanging out with the kids at the apartment buildings, they would call my dad Don Ricardo. And I'm like, why do you guys call my dad Don Ricardo? And like, oh, your dad's the owner of these apartment buildings. I'm like, you guys are tripping. My dad's a maintenance dude here. What do you guys?
How old were you when this was?
Probably like 9 or 10. Okay. 9 or 10. And then I'm the oldest of 3. So like, obviously I had it the hardest. Like my dad always really instilled in me like hard work. My brother also had it really hard too. My sister, obviously, she got it a little bit less than all of us because she was the baby and the girl of the family. But my brother and I would always, and I would always be the one doing the work. My brother would like to go hang out in the office or go to escape and hang out somewhere and not do the work. But I learned at a really young age how to do a lot of maintenance stuff, like how to really, and then from there, my responsibility started growing. My dad was like, oh, go talk to this tenant and let them know when they were going to give us the rent. So I had to then go at 10, 11, 12 years old, go talk English to these people and ask them questions. And then my dad from there, like my parents, like my mom and dad would be like, oh, we need you their help to talk to this lender or talk to the city person. They don't speak English. My mom does, but my mom was a homemaker raising 3 knucklehead kids and taking us to do all our stuff and helping run the family business. Yeah. And my dad's working, in the city, coming home and managing these buildings. So I just like seen it in them, like how hard they worked to manage all these properties, and they had a lot of partnerships with uncles over the years. And if it wasn't for my Uncle Jaime was like the pioneer of the family. My parents, when they got married, he moved them into their house and was like, you guys are never going to pay a dime of rent to anybody. You're going to save your money, you're going to buy your house. And that was the mentality that changed it for our entire family. And if it wasn't for a person like that, and that, for me, I always remember that. Like, he really didn't charge them any rent and push them to save so they could buy their own house. I'm like, and that instilled in me the importance of building generational wealth and buying property. And my dad all throughout college was like always nudging me like, you need to be in real estate, man. You need to be in real estate. I'm like, real estate. I was like, I deal with all your shitty realtors all the time. I don't want to deal with those people, right? And I was like, they're nothing but a glorified car salesman. I don't want to deal with those people. My dad's like, dude, no one's in residential. That's your calling. That's what you need to do. I was like, yeah, whatever, Dad. I'm gonna go work in a bank or whatever. I like numbers. So for me, it's like I resonated more with finance. So I was like, whatever, I'm gonna wear a suit and work at Merrill Lynch every day. I was trying to brainwash myself like that. That or I was gonna go into law because I've always liked law. So I'll go into real estate law or something. But then I saw what lawyers make and how long it takes to get to become a lawyer. I was like, no, thank you, I'm good. But it was, I think my calling was like I was working 2 jobs in college. I was a waiter at Outback Steakhouse in Pleasant Hill. Nice. And also was working at Pleasant Hill Coin and Jewelry Exchange where I was like literally living the Pawn Star life, doing little loans, like collateral loans. Yep. My brother's the manager there right now.
I've always wanted to buy that building.
Old building, right?
If we can buy that building right there.
Well, the one on the corner or the old one that they're at? Because the old one is still sitting there. You guys should.
Still there for sale?
That man drives a hard bargain, though. Yeah, that man drives a hard bargain.
I remember we talked to him like a long time ago.
I've always had my eye on that building, but
shout out there, we're coming for you.
Yeah, for real. That'd be a great building to take over. I mean,
freeway, do all that exposure.
I mean, build it, knock it down, and build a skyrise there, brother. A little mixed-use property or something. I'll go in on with you guys. I know the owner. We'll sweet talk him. But I mean, it was literally like I remember getting off or going to work. And I just finished my degree. I just graduated at the time. And my boss at the jewelry store like pulled me into her office, and she told me what I always knew or what I felt like was coming. She was just like, "Hey, we love you. you know, we want you to be here as long as you want. But she goes, I can't afford you what you're worth. You're the only one in this building that's college educated, other than management. And she's like, as long as you want to be here. And then I remember her giving me an envelope. And I was like, oh, cool. She gave me some Fetty, right? She gave me some Fetty Wap or something. I was like, cool, I got some money or whatever. But it was also a really nice card. And then had a gift card. And underneath that gift card was a business card to Joshua Simkin England, who I still work with today. And she was just like, she pretty much wrote in there, she goes, I know your passion is real estate. You've always talked about it. And it was like, I knew my dad and my parents saw that in me, but it was different when someone else saw that in me. And I think that's what really hit me and resonated with me the most. Like, well, if she sees it, then what am I doing? Why am I messing around? I need to go pursue it. And she was like, I know you're passionate about real estate. You're always talking about it and how you want to help people. She goes, my husband's best friend in college is starting his real estate team. And I think you should go talk to him because he's a really great guy. They went to Chico State together. He's a really cool dude. And I remember like when I hung out with Josh, went out on broker tour, got to go see a couple $1 million homes, took me out to lunch. I'm like, I could get used to this. And he was driving a Benz. I was like, I could get used to this, being hanging out in a Benz, seeing $1 million houses. This is fun. And then I remember just like going home and like, dude, that's a cool ass lifestyle. You know what I mean? And just hearing him on the phone, I was like, that's a baller right there. Like just how he talks to people. Just like gets their name, talks to them personally, makes things happen. I'm like over here just overhearing all his phone calls. And I'm like, that's pretty dope, right? And I remember going home and I'm like, I need to email him. I need to email him and thank him and also tell him if there's an opportunity for me that I want that opportunity. And I remember like thinking about it and then I was like, you know what, like laying in bed, like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna send the email. Sent the email, didn't get back to me. And then I remember like maybe a week or two went by and then he hits me up like, hey, you know, if you want to do this for real, like I'm happy to coach you, teach you, whatever I can do to help you. You can come into the office once a week whenever you're off. You know, you can just hang out in here and you could, you know, will literally give me like a little bit of grunt work to do. Like, you know, like what an intern would do, like here, list these homes on this or do this and make some marketing for us and make flyers. And so that's when I really started learning how to like do flyers and the verbiage and listing stuff online. I would put stuff all over, like they would have me listing on Craigslist and this and that, like have all the exposure they could to these listings, right? So I just started learning all that they did to help sell their houses and also how they, you know, were talking to their clients and doing all the research for when they were helping their buyers. So I just learned everything just by listening and being present with them. And I was like, you know, I got to make this for real. Like I really have to go after this. And that's when I got licensed. And then kind of that took off from there. Just,
nice.
But for me, it was always just for the constant reminder, like if my family can make this into a living and they can do well, it can change my life too.
That's
you know what I mean?
Because like I always see the difference between an agent that has that same thing going on that you're talking about, that belief where it's like, this is it, this is what it's gonna, I believe in this industry, I believe in this career, and I'm just gonna stick at this until it works. And then I can see it when somebody doesn't fully believe in the industry and they'll just try it for a little bit. And when they hit hardships or obstacles, they get discouraged really easily because the belief system is off, right? Like they don't fully believe in the industry. And I had a similar experience because my grandparents came here from Nicaragua and they weren't educated. You know, my grandmother had, you know, random jobs, you know, but most of the time she was at home. My grandfather started as a bar back at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco and retired as bar manager. And they went from renting to owning to selling and owning again to, by the end of their life, they had homes in the U.S. They had homes in California. They had homes in multiple properties in Hawaii and in Nicaragua. And so, like, for someone to be able to come in here and not have an education and be able to build that type of, you know, wealth, it made me believe in the industry. And then growing up, I also saw my mom in commercial real estate. I saw my friends, their parents that I grew up around were also in real estate too, and I was like, I always kind of like what you said, like, oh, they're living that boss life. Like I see them, they're always driving nice cars, they're always making deals happen. They know everybody, and I was like, I like that. And so when I got in the industry, I truly believed in it. I was like, this is, and you know, I mean, how often do you hear, you know, the millionaires, people become millionaires in the U.S. off of stocks and real estate and tech, right? But that wasn't a thing. That wasn't really like a huge, I mean, I guess it was in the 90s, but not like we hit that, I guess, around the time when we got in that second like tech boom where it was like the Bay Area market was fueled by tech money, but yeah, so I can always see the difference in an agent when they're new and they have that something behind them that's telling them like, no, this is it, and someone that doesn't.
But it again, like what resonates too again, like is like the work, like you got exposed to like how to market listings like really early, right? So now all of a sudden now that changes the mentality and just like, and then how we're like, your family's buying, multiple properties when you're young and being exposed. I always relate like when you're in, just like with anything, like whenever you start a new job, a new anything, I always equate it to like being an infant, a toddler, a young kid, a preteen, teenager, because you absorb so much and you build like your path. They say like anybody, any kid under the age of 12 is so impressionable, right? So by the time you're 12, 13, you've kind of already, you're set in your ways. So like if you're not exposed to things, and so like it's always important to find those mentors for you, right? When you're going to those next chapters in life, to find the right mentors to be able to really like, okay, I'm going into real estate. Okay, cool. So we're going to real estate, and so we're finding that right person who's going to be able to guide you and like really expose you to doing things the right way, right? Someone's going to really resonate with you. And like with us, like even like, okay, this is the year we're really going to start charging and like just like moving forward. Like I think we've done this well long enough, and now it's time to do it great. Right, and so okay, let's get a good coach that's going to help us do that, right? Like help us with, now we're kind of in the toddler stage again too, of just kind of taking our company to where we want to go. So it's just who you put yourself around and how you, because you have to be on purpose of who you put yourself around, because you are going to be an impressionable mind,
right?
And your brain's going to soak in all those things, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. But yeah, it's crazy how how being exposed to those certain things just like takes you down a certain path.
I completely agree. I don't think I'd be where I'm at if I didn't have those people in my life.
Like Uncle Theo Hyman, right?
Theo Hyman was the man, bless his heart, man. To be honest, he was such a good dude, and we lost him really young too, but he was a pioneer. He changed so many people's lives, and it was because of that mentality of teaching everybody else like how to level up. You know what I mean? He's like, buy your first apartment building, you get in there, you fix it up, and then you go and get a loan, and then you go refinance, put a little bit of money out, go buy your next building. And it was that way of him teaching everybody that leveled up. Like he's made handfuls of millionaires in our family because of that. Because of that, he helped a lot of people, and a lot of the other uncles too that took his advice and made a lot of money. Like I have another uncle who listened to him too, and the dude owns literally a whole block of apartment buildings in Daly City. You can imagine what those are worth now. So like, I mean, if it wasn't for them taking risks early and just understanding the game and teaching the game to other people, like, and even letting people borrow money to buy their first buildings, like, I mean, I'm grateful for that, because it literally changed our lives. And it's going to change my kids' lives too, because, my dad always told me, like, what I have is not for me, it's for you guys. And I was like, yeah, Dad, whatever. I don't want it. I want you. I want you to be here as long as you can. But at the end of the day, I know that, what they've built is to continue the family legacy. And for me, I just hope that I can continue that, but hold that baton and continue to build the family legacy. That's my goal for me, and to give back to my kids and my future generations. Like, let them know how cool their uncles were and how cool their grandpa was, and everything that they sacrificed. Like, they came here with nothing, you know what I mean? A lot of our family came here with nothing, and it's just cool to see like the trajectory, you know what I mean? And it's like, now I just don't want to F it up. I just don't want to fuck it up now, you know what I mean? I just want to be able to take the lessons and everything that they've sacrificed and done, and just be able to continue that on, and, just do right by people. Because my parents have, I would say in general, my family, they're good people. They try to give back as much as they can. And, just I think having that around me at an early age just kind of continued to show me, like, if you give back, things will be reciprocal. They'll come back to you. So it's like, I've always felt that way. I've always had that calling. Even in college, when I joined the fraternity that's a community service-based fraternity. And now, even being where I'm at, I'm still part of organizations like NORA that give back in other ways. So I feel like I'm a person of service, and I like giving back, and I just want to be able to be, just whatever God wants me to be, and give back in those capacities, because I feel like it fills my cup. I sleep easier at night knowing that I've impacted somebody or given back, or even, you know, just try to like share some wisdom and take people along with me, because like you can't do this alone. And I'm not trying to be selfish either. You know what I mean? It's if I can change one realtor's life or make one realtor see things differently and be a better agent, that's, I mean, we're helping the industry get better. You know what I mean? So I look at it that way too. You know what I mean? Even though as team leaders, you always kind of feel like, oh man, I'm gonna teach this person everything and they're gonna leave me one day. But it is what it is. I think for me it's inevitable. You know, that's growth, and growth will take people in different places. But you know, I'm not gonna knock anybody for wanting to do something for themselves. You know what I mean? I've had some great people on my team who have left and now are doing really great things, and I see them. And I always tell them too, like, you know, I don't ever let my ego get in the way and make them feel like, oh, like I don't like them anymore because they're not on my team or they're not with my company anymore. On the contrary, I hit them up all the time and just on the side, I'm like, hey, bro, I see you doing good stuff, man. Keep it up. You know what I mean? Because I want them to feel like people are seeing it. People understand that, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's okay to do your own thing and flock, get away from the nest and spread your wings and do your thing. You know what I mean? It's like, not everybody's a right fit, or not everybody maybe is not a right fit at that time. So for me, it's like, as long as they're doing good things and they're good agents in the industry, that's all I care about. Because there's not many good ones.
But they better accept your offer when it comes across.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't forget me, bro. Like be nice.
Give me the nod.
Tell your clients that I was the one that mentored you, bro.
What's the number?
You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Honestly, real estate's crazy. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I know you guys probably feel the same. You know what I mean? It's definitely changed my life. And
there's no plan B.
No. I mean, what else am I doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Love everything that the industry gives me. So I'm here for it. I'm here for the ride, man.
Yeah. Do you like? Is that an asset class that you've continued? Like, do you like to? Is real estate part of your wealth strategy? That
100%.
Yeah.
I'd be dumb otherwise. I'd like to listen to dad's advice and grandpa and uncle's advice, and you know what I mean. Like, you know, even my grandpa was a hustler, man. He was buying, selling cattle. So it's like, I mean, now I'm just traded up. I'm buying, selling houses now. You know what I mean? So my godfather was a huge cattle farmer, and that's what he did. And then, you know, my dad's a huge. Like, I grew up listening to my dad negotiate over a penny. So it's like, now I can do. I have a pretty good negotiation skills at this point now. Just listening to my dad haggle people at the flea market or whatever, or just like now, just like listening to people at the office, or just having that you know, that confidence now, because it takes time to develop that. And now you have, when you have people around you and you guys develop a good team and have a good office.
You still do a lot of multifamily, like you help people with multifamily?
I don't like, not huge buildings. I haven't. I've done probably the biggest building I've done is 6 units.
But like you get like constantly, you're getting multifamily
that
business.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've pivoting more that way, because a lot of my clients are leveling up, doing 1031 exchanges, things like that. Or a lot of people, when the market wasn't so great, like 2017, 18, when stuff was kind of stagnant, there wasn't that many deals out there, and the market already kind of hit its plateau. A lot of my clients got into DST, Delaware Statutory Trust, so they just went into like hands off, just like, you know, just like pretty much they own something, but they don't have to manage it, kind of thing. So then a lot of my clients are coming back and buying buildings and you know, 1031 out.
People wanting to go in the Bay for multifamily.
They're going like Sacramento, more bang for your buck, Central Valley. The cash flows. Yeah. It's hard to get. It's hard to cash flow here in the Bay Area, like immediate Bay Area, unless you're putting down a huge down payment, or unless you got a killer deal. And the killer deals are hard to come by. You guys know, like, unless you got a really solid off market deal, or like somebody's fire selling because they got to sell. Like, it's tough. It's tough. But like, a lot of my people have gone into like Sacramento, or gone down into like Turlock, Modesto, Merced, and that's where my team is now. A lot of my team. I have one. My cousin's on my team here, and he helps me a lot here in Concord. But then majority of my team is in Central Valley. So I have 4 agents down there. And Hector, who's like my right hand man, he's like the mayor of Merced, I call him, because the dude, all I told him was like, because he moved, he was living in Oakland, and they moved to.
Did I meet him at that Nora?
The one that was on your panel. That was on the Hector is on the Yep.
He sat next to me at the Nora. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. Hector's a cool dude, man, and he's like, he's just a go-getter, bro. He gets it. Like, you tell him and he does it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's hard to get a lot of people like that. Yeah. And he's led teams. He's been a part of like big companies. He went to a startup called Fluid. Before that, he was with what's the rent-a-car Enterprise. He had a team at Enterprise, so he ran a lot of teams, so he knows how to run teams, and he's just a sharp cat. And I was like, dude, I just need to clone like 6 of you, bro. We'll be solid. You get 3, I get 3. But it's like for him, he was moving into a whole new area. His wife's from down there in Merced and that Atwater area, so they were going back there. They wanted to raise their kids there. They pretty much started off in Gilroy, and then they made their way down there. And just over the years, he's just been a smart dude. Like, didn't sell Gilroy, kept it as a rental, went and bought his next property. And then real quick decided, oh, you know what, this is also going to be a rental. We're going to rent it by the rooms to UC Merced students. And then they bought a fatter house. So it's like him and his wife are just very much on the same trajectory, and they're very much focused on building their portfolio, which is like, kudos to them. Like, if you can do it, do it. It's like the more doors you have, the better. Like, real estate's an avenue to build wealth. But more importantly, he was just like concerned because he's like, I'm going to this whole new area, no one knows me. What do I do, bro? Just get involved, brother. What do you mean? Get involved, bro. Join the YPN, join something there locally, because those areas are very tight knit. Unless you're involved, they're not gonna mess with you, bro. Yeah. He's like, all right. Dude, in a few short years, the man was named Realtor of the Year by the Merced Association of Realtors a couple years ago. Then was named by the Latino Chamber of Commerce, named one of their Men of the Year this last year, and then now has been recruited to be the treasurer for the Merced Association of Realtors. So I was like, see, all you gotta do is just get involved, brother. But the same, it's not as easy as it sounds, because like telling someone to get involved when you're trying to build a business and trying to make money, it's hard. But for him, it's worked wonders, because not only does he has a reputation. Yeah. People know he can close deals, and he brought a little of the base swagger with him and a little bit of the stuff we taught him. So he does things a little differently. He goes a little bit above and beyond than what people do down there. So it's like people are like, "What pre-inspections? What are those?" I was gonna say pre-inspections, and they're like, "Huh?" And so he's just very different in the way he attacks it, and he's very professional. So I mean, for me, it's like we taught him everything we know, and he's just taking it to a whole nother level and just brings that whole swagger to the Central Valley. And so that's why he's doing so well, is because he's doing the business his way, but he's also doing it a very respectable way. They're like, what?
What is this?
Yeah, it's
have it attached to the Associated Docs.
Oh, dude, and it's like, and then he just all the stuff that we talked about, like doing the videos and the marketing, and people are like, what? You're gonna do a video for us? It's different. Like, so I mean, now he's leveling up that industry. Now people are like now seeing what he does down there. So doing a good job, bro. Keep it up. But he knows it. I tell him all the time. I just keep doing what you're doing. We've talked a lot about real estate, fellas.
Yeah, we have.
Can we take a pause real quick?
Go for it. Go for it, bro. So we've been drinking this, guys. Everybody knows what this is. If they're watching my show and don't know what this is, amateurs. Amateurs for sure, because this is the Holy Grail right here.
So what's up with the bottle?
All right, so both of these bottles on the table are very sought after. All right, I'm just making sure I'm being fair.
Oh, you're being fair. More than fair.
Oh shit, that was heavy, dude. Help me. Very sought after. As I was telling you, gentlemen, when we first kicked this off, these are bottles that more artisanal, meaning traditional. They're not gonna fill it with mumbo jumbo that's gonna make you feel like shit the next day. So very clean process. Essentially, they're growing the agave. Has to be 100% blue Weber agave. It has to be. And that's why on these bottles, you'll see at the very top, they're saying that it's 100% the agave, meaning that they're deriving the alcohol from blue agave, from agave essentially. So mezcal, like James was alluding to earlier, he's a mezcal guy. So mezcal is very much the same way, but mezcal is a different type of agave, hence the different taste, and also a little bit more of a different distillation process, a little bit different.
Why I get that smoky taste, or
mainly it's the type of agave, and also when they cook it, it brings out a lot of that smokiness, and then the processes are a little bit different. They don't really barrel them, so like the barrel really changes the taste of these a little bit. Blancos not so much. I mean, a really joven tequila, I would say like literally fresh out the distillation process, it's going to have a little bit more of that kind of mezcal taste because of the fact of it hasn't been barreled and bottled. Blancos are only going to be there a month or two, 3 months max. Then it becomes a reposado, 3 to 6 months here. Okay. Then after 6 months, becomes 6 to 8 months typically almost I would say anywhere between like 8 to 10 months to a year, you're looking at a añejo tequila. Means it's been in a barrel, and essentially they'll leave it there until they get the qualities of the color that they want, and also kind of get that barrel taste. When you start getting into the extra añejo world, you're talking about it's been in a barrel for over a year to 2 years. And that's when you really get a lot of that oakiness, a lot of that deep color. It's going to be a lot darker than this. But like we were talking about earlier, it's like that stuff's always way more expensive because of the fact how long it takes to produce. But at the same time, they're losing alcohol, they're losing tequila in the barrels because of the fact, like a lot of the times when you guys go to tequila tasting or go to tequila, they're going to take you underground where they have their barrels, right? Because Mexico's so hot and humid. Right. Their objective is to keep those barrels as cool as possible underground so they don't lose. But yes, they're still going to lose alcohol. It's still going to get evaporated. So what happens is typically after 1 to 2 years, you're going to have maybe 3/4 of that left because it's also getting sucked into the pores of the barrel, and also it's being evaporated. So hence why you don't have the same volume you started with, hence you're charging more, and you can charge more because an extra añejo, you're talking about 8 years to grow the damn thing, and then another 2 years till it gets bottled and then shipped to your door or taken to your house, right? So longer process, obviously they're gonna charge you way more money for it, but it's everyone's taste. Like I always like to tell people tequila is like wine. I mean, there's so many different variations of it. There's so many different brands. Try them all. Try something that you like and stick with it. Because ultimately, wine obviously is very much to the person's palate, right? Very much like tequila. Some people are going to gravitate towards blancos because they like the taste of the tequila. They're really much more of, they want that little bit harsher taste. And not to say it's harsh, but it's just a little bit more, it's not as digestible as like a reposado. It's going to be a little bit more sweet. And then you make your way to an añejo, it's going to be much sweeter and a little bit more oakier, right? So it just really depends on what you like. Like I told you guys earlier, I'm a huge Scotch and whiskey kind of dude, so that's why I gravitate towards those añejos and extra añejos. But some people hate that, and they're like, I'd much rather go towards a blanco because I like it's a little bit cleaner. It's not as oaky. But at the end of the day, as long as you're messing with good tequila, you should be fine. Because ultimately what gives you guys the hangover is the high alcohol content being mixed with a lot of sugar content, like people mixing it with juice and soda and this and that, right? So that's what gives you the hangover. Yeah, good old days, you just taking them down. But tequila is very much, it's healthy. So is mezcal is super healthy. People have cured sicknesses with mezcal.
I was gonna ask, okay, so like from a health perspective, like what can you, because my grandfather, I remember when I was young, he used to put garlic in a shot of tequila and he would just sip it.
That's really good. That's really good for your lungs and for your respiratory. Yeah, okay. That's good. That's interesting that you say that.
I always wondered, like, okay, there's obviously, I think it wasn't always about just like having a good time and drinking. There's obviously it derived from like doing something for the body.
I mean, it's very much like the Aztecs believed it was a very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a spiritual,
hallucinogenic, or
no, more spiritual, like higher being kind of thing. Because my abuela is the goddess of tequila, and she's the one who came from the agave, and that was the belief of the Aztecs. And so it's very much tied to the Aztec, also the religion and everything that comes with like the culture of Mexico too. But tequila has all those properties. Some similar like mezcal, like people will say that it's helped them like with bronchitis and this and that. Like it helps open up, and it could at the end of the day be just the properties of the agave. Because also, as you guys know, aloes very much has really like good healing properties. Yeah. So like a lot of the cactus, they have a lot of, I would say properties that can help with health. And I don't know exactly, that's good for another show. I should research this. Good thing you guys are bringing it up. I should research that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people believe that tequila is really, it's not only just to get drunk, but also has a lot of healing properties and beneficial to the human body as well. Yeah. So, like I said, what really messes you up is all the shit that they add to it, like the colors, the sweeteners, and all the junk that they add to it to make it taste good. Doesn't make you feel good. It's not meant. It's super processed. So what you guys are tasting is a little bit more sweeter, but very much enjoyable. It's not super harsh. We've had a few, so it's gonna be less harsh. Yeah. But this one as well, like this is a very much sought after tequila, and they were on the Forbes list for like one of the most underrated tequilas up and coming, and now they're huge. They're everywhere. Both of these you can find in the U.S. One thing right now too that's kind of in for tequila is higher proof tequila. People like the higher proof stuff, and like now you're seeing companies collaborate with other whiskey companies or stuff like that to use their barrels that they've stored whiskey in to now store their tequila in, creating a whole different dynamic, whole different taste. And even right now too, the whole crazy thing that they're doing too is a mestizo, a mixture. So they'll mix a little bit of blanco, mix a little bit of añejo, a little bit of reposado, and they'll create like this.
Are they calling it something, or?
There's a lot of it's like just call it like a mestizo or a mezcla of tequila, and like they'll name it something like, oh, this is our, like Fortaleza makes a winter blend every year, and it's super hard to find because they're always changing it up. They're doing like, and as you guys can see on the back, they actually put their lots and everything, so they're very specific, and they've really developed this whole like fandom around their bottles. 10 years ago, no one was drinking this. Everyone was drinking the Clase Azul and the Don Julio in 1942. And this was kind of like, eh. And then people just started catching on to their process and how much, just like Cascawin, there's other companies like, a big name that you guys probably see a lot that's very traditional still to this day is Siete Leguas. That's still to this day super, super traditional. They've never sold out. They're not like Patron, who sold to Bacardi, and Don Julio, who sold to Diageo and all these other big companies, right? A lot of these companies stayed mom and pop, and they're still very much in tune with what they've done years and years ago. Like they haven't changed their recipe. Like they are who they are, because people love their stuff and they're not going to change it. But there's been those people like Don Julio and other people over the years that you like cash out. Like you fall in love with it. Like, oh, this is good stuff. I'm going to buy this for my parties. Tell my homies about this. And then you try it again. You're like, what the fuck is this? Just like the same thing happened with George Clooney's. It was good in the beginning, and then they sold it to that Chinese investor for $1 billion, and then boom, recipe changes because it's all about production. They got the people hooked on the name, on the what's it called on
For $1 billion, yeah.
$1 billion to a Chinese investor. Yeah. What is it called? Casamigos. Now trash. And I was drinking Casamigos like 6, 7 years ago when it first came out. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But
shelf, dude.
not anymore. You know what I mean? Now really the movement is more artisanal, additive free, more organic tequilas. And also, like I was telling you guys, people like the high proof stuff. So they're getting like blancos that are like just higher proof, because like depending on how they distill it, it always starts with a higher proof, but they sometimes will dilute that down, right? When they send it out to the US, they have to cap it at 40%. That's just the way it is. That's why you see everything imported is 40%. In Mexico, sometimes we'll dilute it a little bit more. It sometimes goes down to 38%, 36%. As low, I think I've seen as low as like 34, 32. There's not as much alcohol in there, more enjoyable as well. But at the same time, it just really depends on what you like to drink. Like every brand is super different. And like, dude, you go where I'm from in Los Altos de Jalisco, and there's like just walls of it. Like it's hard to choose. You're like, well, what do I get? But they're all super different. They all have their own little brand, their own little bottle. And the cool thing is too, it's like everyone has their own taste. And everyone has their own bottle they like to drink. Some people are super traditional and drink like Siete Leguas or some old school stuff. And then some people just really like all the new stuff, or even going through the higher proof stuff because they like that higher proof taste. That will definitely set your nose hairs on fire. It's definitely going to put some hair on your chest. It's different, but it's an acquired taste. Like, you definitely have to have one first to prime your esophagus, because it's that bad. Like some of it's like 45 to 50% stuff. Like it's up there. So it just depends on what you like. But some of the OGs now I'm seeing like they're all going after the high proof stuff, and it's like,
So do you feel like the tequila movement is just like really just evolved and just really diverse now, and just like there's just different players in the game now, like just so it's probably like a lot of young infusion just kind of coming in and just coming up, or the scientific portion of it, like with all the mixes?
Dude, everyone's getting super scientific with it right now. Like creating different stuff, different processes, what barrels to use, what barrels not to use, different types of wood, different types of ways to store it. Do they use steel? Do they use that? It's crazy. Right now, Mexico is going through this whole revolution of food and tequila right now. Like, it's huge. And tequila is like one of the, now to like, it surpassed vodka as the number one imported alcoholic beverage in this country. So tequila has just got that fandom, but now you also have people who are very much connoisseurs and like a little bit more snobby, and they won't drink anything if it's just regular shit. Like if it's this stuff, they're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna sit down and have a drink. But if you have Don Julio or something else at the table, they're like, these guys don't know shit. These guys are drinking that crap. You know what I mean? So just everyone's gotten a little bit more snobby when it comes to tequila because and then they also will be like, oh, I got this new lot or this new blend and this and that, right? And it's like, I also don't want to pay $500 for a bottle myself, but it's like it's gotten to that point now where you have like this fandom, and there's also people who really like going after this kinds of bottles too. You know what I mean? Like the Glass Azul, different bottles, they bring out different stuff. Glass Azul is different. They have a different marketing. They're all about the bottle, the presentation, they're this, that. It's great tequila. It's not the best. Yeah. But I mean, they have a whole different fandom. You know what I mean? They're more high end. They're more like the Mercedes-Benz of tequila. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna talk shit about it because my cousin works for Glass Azul. Tony, love you, bro. I'm not gonna talk shit. But I mean, every brand's super different, and they all have a different crowd, and they're all going after different stuff. You know what I mean? It's just interesting to see how it's evolved and how much different products there are out there because it's not the same thing. I mean, it's not the same. Like when you go in the store and you see a couple options, there's hundreds and hundreds of options. And now even like my neighbor in Mexico, their family's huge into cattle. They're cattle farmers, but he's also now in tequila and has started his own brand, and it's fucking amazing. I don't have it, couldn't bring it. It's at home. I didn't get the box in time, fellas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fellas. I didn't get the box in time, but I'll share it with you guys when I get it. But it's called Mapelo, really good brand. But like people like that are like trying to change the game. They're not gonna go out. They're not gonna just make a regular tequila. They're gonna make something that's done right. And one of the main master distillers that's behind these bottles is a gentleman called Felipe Camarena. If you guys look him up, he's behind some of the biggest brands in tequila. And he's one of their master distillers, and he has a lot of students that are kind of helping change the landscape of tequila, creating more artisanal, more organic stuff that's going to be more enjoyable, and that's not going to make you guys curse the world the next day, because that's not what we want. You know what I mean? We want to be able to enjoy it and also wake up the next day and go to work. So
yeah, it's like, cause I'm a beer guy, right? And so like but like the beer industry is just like totally taken off. There's so many different times. It's gotten very scientific. So I'm glad the tequila movement is going that way as well too. Because as you get older, like not too much beer is like too heavy on you. So like sipping on a good tequila or a good mezcal is always just kind of like what I've kind of my old man self has graduated to. So
more sophisticated man. More sophisticated, bro. That's the goal, right? Is like as we get older, we get wiser. Yeah. Don't want to go into our old ways of doing things. We can't. I mean, shit. I would love to be my old self, where I could just take down shots, all day and be fine the next day. But that's just it's not the reality. Yeah. You know what I mean? So having a good tequila, especially like brands like this, it's important because when you have somebody over, you want to be able to share something with them that's going to be enjoyable, but at the same time not going to hurt them the next day. Yeah. So it's mainly just like these brands are just going back to the roots, going back to their old way of doing things, and not trying to make a really commercialized product like some of these big brands have done now, because they pulled on our heartstrings early, like Don Julio, that was the shit growing up, right? Yeah. It ain't no more. It's just not. It's not. There's so much other better stuff out there. Another one that you'll see now in the States too that I'm a huge fan of is called Ocho. And that one's actually near, it's actually distilled near where my parents are from in Jalisco. It's like maybe about a 25, 30-minute drive. I haven't gone to their tasting room yet. I'm wanting to go so bad. And
where's the tasting room at?
In Jalisco, in a city called Arandas, Jalisco, which is really nearby where we're from. About an hour outside of Guadalajara, so it's not too far.
When you go there, do you just fly into Guadalajara, or do you go to
I fly into Guadalajara, and I usually fly into Guadalajara and I go to my parents' house. Okay. Well, our house, I should say, because I help fund that expense. I help fund that too. But anywho, like that, for us, that's home. You know what I mean? My parents, I've
never been there, but I've been to PV a few times. We really like it there.
Beautiful, bro.
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful. That you feel Mexico there. Really nice. Insane, brother. Yeah. The food scene, like you'll probably try some of the best food you'll ever have. Everything, bro. You get everything done there. May you come back looking like a brand new man. But no, Guadalajara is cool, man. It's like that. Mexico City is even cooler. It's gotten safer. People are so much more like into the whole food, alcohol scene. Like things are just so much more about hospitality now.
Yeah.
And despite what people will say, the cartels and stuff like that, they're not trying to fuck with that. They're not trying to mess with those people's business. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. It's really kind of hands off. Like they're not going to go in and mess up something that's good. You know what I mean? Especially because they want tourism, they want people coming in. A lot of people will scare you, like, oh, don't go. You know what I mean? I go all the time. Not just because I'm brown and I look Mexican, but and I'm fine. But it's just about just being cordial. You go to someone else's country or you go to someone else's house. Just gotta be respectable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go and try to cause a ruckus.
When I was in Mexico, I was like looking up like what the crime rate was and stuff like that, and I was just looking more into it. And a lot of the tourists that were getting in trouble or in danger were doing weird stuff, like on dating apps or doing weird stuff. But when we go, it's just like
just go enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, people are gonna treat you like family, bro. I mean, Jalisco is a very beautiful state, not just because I'm from there, but people are super humble. You know what I mean? Mexico in general, like the only place I don't go and I talk a lot of shit about are like Cabo. Don't fuck with it. Don't like it. It's not Mexico. It's super whitewashed.
I'm going there and for a wedding.
Sorry, bro.
It's not though. It's expensive. It's like Beverly Hills.
It is. Yeah. It is because it's all the folks from San Diego that fly in and have their second homes there. Yeah.
Canadians are
they love Mexico.
Snowbirds.
Yeah.
They're all there, but But yeah, Cabo. It's not. But what is it? Not Cabo San Lucas, but Cabo San Juan. Is it San Juan?
Mm-hmm. Deeper, yep.
Yeah, it's nice there. I like it.
It is nice. Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna talk just shit about, but it's Cabo San Lucas in general. Yeah. You venture out, you're gonna get the Mexico feel. You're gonna get the good people. It's just like those. It's like the Vegas of.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't want to walk down the street and get a lizard thrown on me.
Oh, now you owe me $20. You touched my lizard.
Picture. Yeah, it's honestly, it's just that's just not Mexico for me. Yeah. And when I go to Mexico and I talk Spanish, I expect to be greeted and talked to in Spanish, not like talked down upon or like, who the hell are you? And I just didn't feel right there. Yeah. And I don't think I'll ever go back. But I mean, I've seen Oaxaca is beautiful. The beaches of Oaxaca are amazing. Puerto Escondido, Huatulco, will change your life. Like, don't ever go, just go. Don't ever just venture to where they tell you to go. Like, those areas too are gonna blow your socks off, man. It's like, even like going down towards like Chiapas, like where Guatemala meets Mexico. Some of the most amazing things you'll see, dude. They have their own Grand Canyon filled with water, and you go into called the Cañón de Sumidero, and you're like going through a raft and like these massive like just
wow.
Like they're all cut through by the lakes and everything there. They have a place called Montebello that has over 37 or 38 lakes. Crazy. Waterfalls, jungle, you name it. It's like Mexico's so diverse, not just in people, but landscapes. And people don't even know that. Yeah. People always say, oh, y'all just got beaches and tequila. Like, nah, bro. Mm-hmm. It's so much different. It's like we have Aztec ruins, Mayan ruins, we have jungle, we have
That's
this,
why I
we
like
have that.
It's more jungly. I like that.
a little bit more jungly. Yeah. It's cool. PV's my favorite, bro. Like out of all of them, PV, and then just after, just even going and checking out Oaxaca, I want to go back because the food there is amazing, bro. You talk about Mexico. Mexico was birthed in Oaxaca. That's where our culture comes from. So like that's where they have the Dia de los Muertos stuff. That's where they have dude. It's like it's crazy. Like there's so much culture there, and you feel it. And it's like that's where you have the painted houses and the cobblestone streets and all the old this and that, and like just some of the best food you'll ever have, bro. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And then they take you to the mezcal farm, or they have the agave, and they take you on the mezcal bus. Oh, dude. I didn't have appreciation for mezcal until that day. And it's just because they teach you how to drink it. They give you, they tell you about the properties of mezcal. And it's like, mezcal is supposed to be aerated. And I didn't know that. It's like, there's so much high alcohol content in mezcal. You're supposed to aerate it. You're supposed to pour it into a glass and then sift it and let it aerate, kind of like a nice wine. It'll cut out a lot of that harshness from the alcohol. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you guys, Mexico is very beautiful. I know there's some beautiful countries. I haven't ventured off too much, but the goal is to see more of some beautiful Latino countries in general. But I mean, it's just like if you're not going and seeing it for yourself, then you don't know. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of beauty to be seen, and I didn't always like. For me, it's like I didn't always just want to go where my parents are from. I wanted to venture off a little bit, and I just got lucky that no one was traveling out there during COVID, and my cousins were like, "Let's just go and do it," and I was like, "Fine." And we went toured a couple places, and really got to explore Mexico a little bit deeper than what it is, and it's honestly it was a really, really gratifying experience. Saw some really cool shit. Ate some really good food, and drank some really good stuff, and definitely just kind of opened my eyes up to just the uniqueness of the country, and not just like where my parents are from. So,
like my bucket list is Mexico City. I really want to get to Mexico City.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
You got to. There's so much to see.
Yeah.
The food, the lucha libre, the everything. It's and dude, you got to go to the famous torta. This called la esquina de chilaquil, and they got this lady there that's cranking out tortas of chilaquiles all day, and it's super famous. I haven't gone, but that's on my bucket list too to go back because I've only gone as a kid. I haven't gone as an adult, so I'm like putting that on our bucket list for sure to go and just explore the city a little bit more and try some good food and just bathe in the culture a little bit,
Yeah, absolutely, dude. All right, dude. So where do I go? Like, where do you go in the East Bay? I don't know how far your pod stretches, dude. So apologize. I just wanted so I know when I leave here today.
Yeah.
Like, where do I go find just a good diverse amount of bars? I just go to Bevmo or
I mean, you can
always
go to Bevmo, and you can always go to Total Wine. Like, they're always gonna have a lot of the stuff there. You're probably gonna get a little bit more better pricing there from the mom and pop stuff, but there's a lot of good liquor stores. Cork and Bottle in Concord still is a good one. They actually have a really legit little selection.
They got good beer selection.
They got a good beer selection too. They got a good selection there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but there's also some really good spots. Honestly, I can't throw out too many names because I don't know their exact name, but I know there's a really good liquor store in Oakland. Can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but there's a lot of them in the city. But for me, I'm a little bit biased, because I go to Mexico, and Ashley's like, "Why are you not taking anything with you?" I'm like, "I'm bringing bottles back, baby." It's like, I was like, "Hi," and for real, because I mean, I'm blessed that I have my own house out there, so I get to keep a lot of my stuff out there. So I'm like, I travel light for a reason, but I bring my huge luggage, and Ashley's always like, "Why do you need all that luggage if you got clothes over there?" It's like, babe, it's gonna get filled. It's gonna get filled. And I'm always like, when they go to weigh it, when they're putting it on or you're checking in, I'm like, "How much is it?" And they're like, 23 pounds, sir. I'm like, perfect. I got 22 pounds to fill with alcohol, baby. But yeah, I mean, I always try to bring back as much as I can because for me, it's about sharing, dude. Like a lot of my tequila, I don't I probably opened this maybe a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. You see, it's not done. I only share it with friends or when I'm on the podcast. I'm not the person to go home and drink anymore. That's just not me. You know what I mean? I'd much rather go home, kick my feet up on the couch and watch a show or, get distracted with something else. But I'm just not a casual drinker anymore. And for me, it's I have to share it with friends or amongst family. And, you guys are friends and family. So that's why we're here. That's why we're sipping on the good stuff.
It is good.
Well, cheers, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys again. Want to make sure that everyone knows where to find you guys. If you guys want to plug your Instagrams or your...
Go ahead, dude.
You can find us on Instagram at hello.rise.group. Same thing, YouTube, Hello Rise Group. You can find us at risegroup.com. You can find us in Walnut Creek at 590 Ignacio Valley.
Right on the corner.
Road.
Right there, dude.
Road, yeah.
By the old DMV, dude.
Yeah, right there. So
and sold by
JQ is my personal Instagram. You can find me James Quintero, realtor, on YouTube as well.
And at the Strange Agent.
Love it.
Yeah, on both YouTube and Instagram. So all right, man.
Love it, brother.
Appreciate you, dude.
Before I let you guys go, can you guys share where the name came from? I've always been curious.
Rise Group.
Okay, wait.
First, it was Hello Rise Group, and then Hello Rise Group, right? And then you guys shortened it, or was
it was Hello? It was always Hello Rise Group. So
okay.
That was a doing of Chris Lopez. To be honest, when we first met, he always wanted to go to the Rise Festival. I think it's in the desert of Vegas or something like that. And it's a
where they, like,
lantern
the
thing where
lantern.
where like thousands of people go out there and light the lanterns and they
what?
float up. That's called the Rise Fest or something.
Interesting.
Like that.
Interesting.
And so he always wanted to go to that. He liked that, and so you like write your stuff on the lantern and let it go or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what he kind of, that was his idea to name it that, and so that's kind of where it was birthed, and we just
it fit. I mean, like we were like, it's all a blur. But it was like we were trying to come up with a name, right? So yeah, but yeah, like Rise Group, it resonated. But we should have Googled and see how many Rise groups are out there.
Are there a lot?
Honestly, though, there are now. I think we were, to be honest, I'm going to coin and say we were the first.
You guys probably were. I don't remember ever seeing another Rise group out there.
Well, we got
Interesting.
RiseGroup.com, so
There you go. If you want it, you got to pay for it.
It's for sale. We'll change. It's for sale.
Or we'll trade that for a Rise Group Instagram handle, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
Nice. Nice. I was always curious. I was like, I'm going to get them drunk on the podcast and ask them.
That's all you're going to ask us? All right.
That's all that we got today, right?
Episode 2.
I was ready for all the skeletons.
Oh, man. No, that's going to be for the uncut version, bro. Raw and uncut. No, I was just always curious. I'll ask them on the show, see if they're going to be honest and share with me.
Yeah.
Because Boulevard just, honestly, was just, what's a fancy name? Hollywood Boulevard. All right, cool. Boulevard Real Estate.
That's
it is.
pretty dope. I actually do like that
Boulevard,
name a lot.
dude.
And then over a bottle of tequila, we were like, this has to fucking mean something.
Yeah.
It has to mean something. And then we were like playing with shit, and all of a sudden I was like,
Oh, it stands for something, too.
it stands for something. Better living, value delivered.
Oh, that's good.
But it wasn't. Didn't always have it. It wasn't always an acronym. I remember we got faded off tequila one time, and my cousin's like, "Dude, you have to have a name for it, bro." I was like, "Man, it don't mean nothing. It just means Boulevard, like Hollywood Boulevard, like iconic street, so you don't forget about us, kind of thing. It's like iconic." And he's like, "Nah, bro, but you have to go deeper than that, bro." And I'm like, "All right, bro, what is it?" He's like, "Better living." I was like, "Oh, we're on to something.
Okay,
we're on to something." And then better living. All right, cool. What's VD? And so we just shooting the shit. And then I was like, value delivered. That's it. And I remember I was hella juiced. I came back to the office on Monday. I was like, Josh, Michael, we got to talk, bro. I got a meeting for the name. And then after that, he's like, fuck it, bro, let's run with it. So it was.
So do you guys actually have written out now, or is it just
they don't know. We just keep it Boulevard. But I sometimes will type better living, value delivered sometimes, or I'll catchphrase it, or I'll hashtag it. But
this is elevating prosperity through home ownership. Together we rise.
Yeah, I see that all the time. You guys coin that. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It fits you guys, and I feel like it fits the squad. And you guys rise together.
Yeah.
I feel that.
And that's why we had the Together We Rise podcast that we bring back. So
Bring it back.
Love it. Well, hopefully you guys like me enough to invite me on that.
I'd love to.
BYOT, dude.
Bring your own tequila?
Yeah, so because
I'll be there.
good stuff. We'll have
I'll be there. You guys know I'll be there.
Yeah, well, remember,
I'll bring
that.
that.
Your Instagram post that you're at the airport. We'll just be putting in our orders.
Just DM me, bro. Just like, hey, bro, bring back another one of what you're bringing.
whatever
I got you.
Gave us that date. Bring it
Yeah. No, but I'll bring. Literally, what happened was the homie was like, my neighbor was always like, oh yeah, I'll bring you guys a box. You guys take a box with you. I was like, okay, cool. I leave Monday, and he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna drop off a box with your parents. But I forgot to tell him I was not going to be at my parents' on the weekend. I was going to be in Guadalajara because we had a golf tournament. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go drive an hour in to get a box of tequila. I'm like, nah, it's good, whatever. And then my dad's like, you sure? He's like, I'll have someone take it to you. And I'm like, nah, no. I was like, it's just not going to work out. And then my dad texts me a picture of him opening the bottle, and I'm like, fuck, dude. But I got to try it because every year they do an expo where they sell off some of their cattle to raise money, and they were promoting his tequila that day, and I was just like, all right. And then he started telling me the story, my master distiller is a student of Felipe Camarena, and I was like, well, that's why it tastes so fucking good, because they're doing it the right way. And he was telling me yeah, it's organic. no additives, and I was like, okay, you're doing it the right way. But his shit's good, and he just barely came out with his Blanco. He has his other stuff in barrels right now, so it'll start to come out and trickle into the market. But he's only selling in Jalisco right now. But it's good shit.
Yeah.
It's good shit. So if you guys go on Instagram and look up Mapelo, it'll come up. It's like he's doing a lot of promotion right now.
Nice.
But yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. We're leaving. We're gonna be there in a couple weeks. We got a wedding in Tequila, and then I'm gonna go hang out at my parents' pad, and then fill it all up.
In Tequila. There's a
We're getting
city.
there's this.
Oh, Tequila.
City,
Yes,
I
bro.
know that, dude.
Yes,
Yeah, dude,
Tequila,
it's
Jalisco.
Chihuahua,
It's
right?
like in between PB and Guadalajara. So
Yes,
you gotta go to PB,
yes,
Tequila, and Guadalajara.
yes. You gotta do the whole shebang, bro. Or you do it reverse. You get started in Guadalajara, then you make your way to Tequila, and then you'll find your way to the beach. I like doing it that way because then I get to detox at the beach, bro. You know, just chillax and just enjoy the weather, enjoy the
We had the
vibes.
most beautiful Airbnb in PB. Was at the Orchid condos in the Conchas Chinas, and it was
Nuevo Vallarta or Vallarta?
Vallarta.
Okay.
And it's more south, and right on the water, and there's the rooftop like club lounge with a infinity pool.
Oh,
Bro,
wow.
Just go up there in the morning and just stay up there all day, and it was just like.
Oh, that's where you were
felt like-
recently? I seen your
like,
post. I was
it
like,
our-
he's living the
one
life
year
right now,
anniversary.
bro.
Yeah, we were like, it felt like we were on top of the ocean. And it's just like, I want to go back. So,
Dude, it's so nice.
Good when you go
That's
on
my
vacations like that, where you just like yearn to go
yeah,
back.
just
dude.
like,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. I mean, actually, like going to this little boutique hotel near the airport called God, the name already slipped my mind. Gran Velas. Oh, dude, it's killer. Yeah, we enjoy ourselves. It's like right off the golf course. I need to take my clubs because I love golfing. So I'm like, but when I'm out there, I'm like, I ain't gonna golf. Let's golf, dude.
You
Hell
guys are
yeah.
on PV?
Yeah.
So the golf course right there, and then right next to it, we did the turtle. There's like a turtle.
Oh yeah. Where they released the turtles.
They released the turtles. Yeah, and it was our.
I love that. That
on
shit's
the
cool.
Side of the in between the airport and the golf course.
Yep.
And yeah, you go to the little turtle camp right there.
Yeah. It's cool, but it's a little.
yeah.
Break your heart a little bit. They're like, they're not all gonna make it. I'm like, damn, why am I doing this then? Because then you see all the seagulls coming in, and they're like, and then they're out there with like these, they're doing, yeah, no, like mine made it to the ocean. But they have like this little thing like to scare away the seagulls because they'll come in and they'll steal them, dude.
They do it at night. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that they did at night. They took it during the day, and I'm like, no, little guy, make it. Come on, man. All right, guys, let's go eat.
All right, cool.
These guys are over here
Thank you.
grubbing.